are on to the dark horse picks for the WGC at Concession this week. We did the celebrity showdown with Chelsea Pizzola and Jay Kaplan missing in action. Were you just too intimidated?
Yeah, Chelsea just has me in a tizzy. I was very intimidated with her being on. She seems like a worthy opponent. But based on the scoring of the celebrities, I have nothing to be afraid of.
Right. Well, we'll see how we get on this week in the Celebrity Showdown on the PGA TOUR app. You're currently in second place behind Elk. We're not even going to talk about the scores again because it just gets me down. Anyway, I look forward to seeing your team. But for now, we're all about those dark horse picks. And, well, we were talking about this off air. We love the fact that for the WGC, there's a lot of names popping up that maybe don't play on the PGA Tour week after week.
Yeah, this is one reason I really like the WGC. When Greg Norman kind of dreamed up this concept, and then Tim Fincham, who was the PGA Tour commissioner at the time, kind of took it, reworked it, introduced the WGC, and now it's become a really good part of every season. And one of the good reasons is these European guys or these guys that play around the world that maybe we haven't heard of sort of get introduced to the PGA Tour through these events. So that's the case this week for sure.
And top 50 in the world gets into this event. And there's a lot of guys that have recently kind of jumped into that top 50 that maybe play in Europe, have done the Middle Eastern events, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Saudi, and have had good finishes. So we have three of them, actually. The three guys that we've picked are all guys that are coming over after playing European Tour. And it's just cool. There's no cut in the WGCs. So it's just a chance maybe to see these guys perform over 4 days and get those results.
Yeah, and it's a big deal for them. I mean, every player in the world wants to qualify for the PGA Tour. It's the most elite tour in golf. Everybody knows that. So for these guys, there's a high motivation factor, maybe even more than most of the players in the event, because sometimes it just feels like another event for the PGA Tour players. But these guys come over here thinking, this might be my entree to getting on the big tour and making a name for themselves. So we'll see some of that this week.
And of course, a lot of the guys will follow the PGA Tour week after week. And it's got to be great to be playing with Jon Rahm and Xander Schauffele and Dustin Johnson and these big names that they do watch on the PGA Tour every single week. And of course, we know how well they're all performing. Yes. So we've got three dark horses. I'm going to do one. You have two. Would you why don't you do one? I'll do mine, then you do your last one. Okay,
I like when you do alternate shots. So I'm going to start with a South African player. Younger guy, has been playing on the European Tour. I started looking at numbers. I mean, this is a numbers-based thing for us, right? We run our algorithm, we see numbers. This guy and the guy that I'm going to pick after your pick, I wouldn't say they have the best numbers. Usually I don't get kind of lured in. But you and I talked about sort of introducing some of these guys, and you just never know who the next guy is. So this guy's a South African. I like the way he ranks in proximity to the hole. He's had some success. He's won once on the European Tour. That was in 2019. My first pick is the South African Erik van Rooyen.
Okay, 200 to 1 as well. So definitely worthy of a dark horse pick. We'll talk more about that in a minute when I make my guy. But looking at his numbers, I mean, is there anything in particular that stands out in his game that will be good for Concession?
Well, I mean, he's at a disadvantage, obviously, because very few guys on the regular tour have played Concession. So maybe this guy's been snooping around Concession and nobody knows it. If he hasn't, he's going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage. He's a pretty good putter, and he ranks 77th on the European Tour in proximity to the hole. So he's going to be within range if he's going to make a few putts. Let's hope he does, and for my case. Has a little bit of trouble with the short ones, which isn't great. So maybe he'll drain a few long ones, which would be great. Hint, hint. So let's just keep an eye on him. He's a slender South African, and I like what I'm seeing out of him recently.
He likes to wear joggers too. I remember seeing some fashion choices of Eric Van Rooyen's before.
Is it too late to change my mind now that I know that fact?
Okay, my dark horse pick, I'm just going to lay my cards on the table. He's 75-1. I know you're going to have a little bit of an issue with that. But it's a WGC, remember. We don't have like extraordinary high odds because these are the elite players in the world. So I think 75-1 is pretty good.
Okay, here we go. Here's the rationalization. All right, go ahead.
Scottish, right?
Uh-huh.
We know that I like to pick with my heart. However, remember I picked Martin Laird for Vegas because he was Scottish. So I'm kind of hoping that we're on the same path. This guy's 24 years old. He's from a town in Scotland called Oban. He is 43 in the official world golf ranking, which that in itself is just amazing. What a fantastic position to be ranked in the world. He's had one win on the European Tour, and in 2019 won Rookie of the Year. Also in 2019, he finished tied for 6th at the Open at Royal Portrush. Now, recently, this guy has been playing, he did the Middle East. He finished 3rd in Dubai, 16th in Abu Dhabi. And looking at his stats, his proximity to the hole, like that greens in regulation, accuracy stat is his thing, which I think is going to put him in good stead for this week. So my dark horse pick is Robert McIntyre.
Wow.
You like that?
Yeah, I like the fact that you're picking a Scottish guy. Maybe he's the next Scottish guy once Russell Knox gives up the throne, which will probably be a very long time. But I like that you're going with the blue and white this week.
The thing about Robert McIntyre is he's never played in like a standard PGA Tour event before, but he has played in majors and WGCs, finishing tied for 6th at the Open Championship. Okay, it was in Northern Ireland, and there's a bit of a correlation between playing in Scotland and playing over there. But he played in the WGC HSBC Champions in 2020 and finished T17. So it's not like he's not used to playing against big names on the worldwide stage. I don't think he's going to be fazed by it at all. I've never met him, but from seeing his interviews and reading so much about him, watching his demeanor on the course, nothing phases him. He's like very light-hearted, kind of water off a duck's back. So I think that it could be a really, really great week for Robert McIntyre.
It's hard for me to believe that you've never met him. I just figured like all Scottish people know each other.
He's only 24 and he's only been playing, 2 years on the European Tour.
Well,
so, yeah.
This will be a good introduction for the world this week. He is a very good player, and he might be the next Scottish guy that everybody's speaking of.
Yeah. Okay, your third and final dark horse pick.
So my third pick has terrible stats. I'm just going to lay it out on the line. But sometimes you just go with your gut. You go with your heart. I go with my gut. This guy had a phenomenal 2019. He finished 3rd in the race to Dubai in Europe. He had a win, a 2nd place finish, and 3 third-place finishes. So he's had recent success. He's coming in, finishing a T6 3 weeks ago. I like this guy. He's Austrian. There's something intriguing about Austrian players. I always think of like James Bond villains, but in this case, obviously his hobby is skiing. That goes without saying really, but I feel like I always got to throw that out there. So he's a good athlete. This guy, his numbers don't warrant him to even be in this field if you're really looking at his stats, but he does rank 41st in the world. So he's on a climb towards the top. This is a big week for him. He knows he's going to make the cut. He knows it's a chance to go ahead and get some points. Even recently on the PGA Tour, he finished 4th at the RSM last November. So there's a comfort level here with this guy. Look out for Bernd Wiesberger.
I like it, and 125 to 1. He actually had a top 10 finish at a WGC, like I think it was 2018. So again, you know, he's played against all of these guys a lot before. It's not like he is going to be fazed by the field whatsoever. And as you say, those numbers, and it's always hard when you have the guys that don't play full time on the PGA Tour because their stats aren't going to be representative of what they're doing. So sometimes you have to go with your gut, Jay. I support that fully.
I have a lot of gut to go with, Diane. So it should be a winner this week.